Something disturbing I've seen in the sector is this mentality of they made me do it. Someone insults you, someone makes you mad, and you retaliate because you had to retaliate. And I understand that, you have to defend yourself, or you feel you have to defend yourself. And especially in this sector, there's an expectation that you defend yourself, or else, you're a punk or whatever. You've lost. Losing is, the worst thing that could happen to you, I guess. But I don't know, the things that people are driven to do, and then they don't take responsibility for it because, someone else did this, therefore I must do that. That is disturbing behavior, especially from an adult, and especially from adults of a certain age that you see around here. And I mean, it's obviously a lack of impulse control. It's, well, I was mad. Well, I was mad. I had to do it. No, technically you didn't have to do it, especially if it's something heinous. I mean, I'm not getting upset because, people are dragging other people and someone drags them back or something, but some of the shit people do here is so insane. I mean, I can't even talk about the beef sector really with normal people. We kind of have to keep to ourselves, because if I tried to explain this to an outside person, they would think I was insane for even being around this stuff. But yeah, this lack of impulse control, it's a sign of mental issues, for at the very least. Definitely a sign of arrested development, because this is not how functioning adults react to things. If anything, functioning adults, if they do react, they react in kind. They don't escalate as high as people do here. And also, I think, if someone has insulted them, I don't know, sociologically speaking, their social value has been demoted by the other person. So you try to demote the other person's social value. But if you're going above and beyond to the point where you're trying to devalue someone else, and you end up devaluing yourself significantly in the eyes of those around you, and you're not even aware of it, that's an issue. If you're not aware of kind of what you look like, and if your response is appropriate for the situation, yeah, definitely sign of mental issues. And I've seen that with people I know in real life, not so much in like a violent way or in a punitive way. I see it with, no, that's true. I do see it sometimes when people get angry. They don't do the things that people do around here in the beef sector. I've never seen a person in real life dox another person. But there is this sort of thing, and it's with people that I know who have issues, don't quite have all their faculties. It's this, well, I got mad, so I had to do such and such. And especially if they've done a bad thing, and I know, I'm sorry I'm talking in such vague terms, but if, I can't really discuss what certain people have done. They'll do something bad, and they realize, oh my God, I really fucked up. I went above and beyond what I should have done. And they say, I'll never do it again. I know better now. You won't see me doing that again. And then they do it again. And you're like, well, why the fuck did you do that? And they say, well, I was mad. It's like, yeah, okay. You were mad the last time and you said you weren't going to do it anymore. Well, yeah, but I was mad. But they did this. They don't understand. It's like, I won't do it again, except when I want to do it again. So it's like, they can't even respect the boundaries that they've set for themselves. And that's a problem. That's a lack of impulse control. And it also, it's scary, especially in this sector, because that if this person has no control over their own actions, they are capable of anything, really. So, and boy, have we seen people be capable of almost anything. and they're going to keep pushing the envelope. If the last thing didn't get the reaction they wanted, in a fit of anger, who knows what else they're going to suddenly come up with. And unfortunately, a lot of these people do have enablers who let them get away with it. And while they do lose social standing in the eyes of a lot of people, there's still a certain amount of people who cheer them on, or think they're perfectly fine. So they do get some, support for their behavior. Whereas if they did that in real life, they would be a social pariah. But I mean, it all boils down to, just because you can doesn't mean you should. But they can't not. They don't have the control over themselves to not do it. Because there's something wrong there. And I don't know, that really bugs me, especially with someone I know in my life who, I mean, I guess you could call them an addict. If some, addicts swear up and down they're not going to do something, and then they do it anyway. And, it's frustrating, especially if they promised you they're not going to do it, and then they go and do it, the first chance they can, because they wanted to, because XYZ. They don't have, just in general, it's strange to see adults who are so powerless in their own lives, and they sort of give themselves permission to be powerless. They say, well, the other person did this thing, so I had to do this. It's like, well, does that person rule your life? I mean, it's amazing how much you can control these people, because they don't seem to have any say in what happens with their own lives. You're the one who's controlling them. I mean, they're dancing like puppets for you, because you can say or do something and they have to respond. They don't pick and choose. You are the one in charge, not them. And so they have to respond, and that shows a lack of control. And I don't know. Never mind dignity. You can't say to them, well, okay, so-and-so did this to you, and how about you not respond in this, super inflammatory, insane way, just for your own sake? What about your dignity? You can't really bring that up to them. I think they've lost their dignity. They lost it a long time ago. So you can't even mention, don't sink to their level, or, it's like there's no self-preservation. There's no looking at yourself and thinking, oh my God, like, what's going on with my life? It's just a free for all. And I don't know. The behavior of some of the adults here is just so shocking. But I guess that's what makes it, what makes it entertaining. Another thing, and I'm not really related, but just the idea of lying. It's something I feel like when we're kids, you sort of expect you expect kids to lie. It's not approved of behavior, but it's sort of expected behavior, or somewhat, I don't know, expected, accepted. It happens. I know plenty of kids growing up who are pathological liars. Shit, I probably lied too. You're trying to save face or whatever, or to impress people. And then when you get older, that sort of fades away. Most adults don't lie. Hopefully. There seems to be this sort of unspoken understanding amongst adults. We might expect kids to lie to us, but we expect other adults to have this sort of, honor code of, he's not going to tell me a bold-faced lie because he's an adult and, he's a functioning adult. And so when adults do lie, they sort of use that against us. And because they know they're not really going to be questioned, because they're not a child. If they say something kind of remarkable, we'll be like, oh, really? Well, okay, that's what you saw, or that's what you heard. I guess that's, I guess I have to believe you, because, you're a grown up and you wouldn't just make shit up. But it's amazing how many people do just randomly make shit up. Now, there's some people who will embellish, or, they're really getting into, they're reading the hell out of someone, and, things get things ramp up and stuff, and they say some stuff that's not quite true, but not, whatever. It's a part of, dragging and stuff. So that's fine. That happens. But there's some people who just make things up, and it's like, oh my God. And obviously they'll probably have supporters who want to believe what they said. And then, even other people kind of have to be like, well, I guess that came from something. That statement came out of, there's some shred of truth or something. They wouldn't just come out and say it, but there's some people who just come out and say stuff, and I don't know. It's so weird to see that. This behavior, and yet here I am.